Number 1. North Sentinel Island. If you think your ex ghosting you was brutal, try ghosting the entire human race for 50,000 years. Located in the Bay of Bengal, this beautiful tropical paradise looks like a perfect vacation spot. But getting close to its shores is a literal death sentence. The island is entirely inhabited by the Sentinelese, an ancient indigenous tribe that refuses all contact with the outside world. Any outsider who attempts to approach is met with an immediate and lethal barrage of arrows. They don't want our smartphones, our internet, or our modern drama. In fact, after the 2004 tsunami, when helicopters flew over to check on them, they literally shot arrows at the aircraft. The Indian government eventually took the hint and created a strict 3-mile exclusion zone. It is highly illegal to approach. For the Sentinelese, their survival depends on keeping us completely out. Number 2. Snake Island. Lying just off the coast of Brazil is Ilha de Queimada Grande, widely known as the danger noodle capital of the world. It is so incredibly dangerous that the Brazilian Navy has strictly forbidden anyone from stepping foot on it. The island is infested with golden lancehead vipers, snakes that have evolved a venom 5 times more potent than their mainland cousins. Their venom is so toxic it can literally melt human flesh around the bite within minutes. Researchers estimate there are up to 5 of these extremely venomous snakes per square meter. That means no matter where you step, you are always in striking distance of Australia's worst nightmare. Except it's in Brazil. Only a handful of highly trained scientists are legally allowed to visit, and they must bring an armed doctor just to survive. If you are afraid of snakes, this island is your literal final boss. Number 3. Gangkhar Puensum. When you think of the ultimate climbing challenge, you probably picture Mount Everest. But Everest has been conquered thousands of times. Honestly, there is literally a line of traffic to get to the top now. But in the remote country of Bhutan lies Gangkhar Puensum, the highest unclimbed mountain in the world. Standing at over 24,000 feet, no human has ever set foot on its peak. Why? Because the gods essentially put up a do not disturb sign. In Bhutanese culture, mountains are considered the sacred homes of deities. Out of deep respect for these spiritual beliefs, the government enacted a strict law completely banning climbing any peaks higher than 19,000 feet. Expeditions have tried and failed, pushed back by violent weather and strict authorities. Today, it remains a pristine, untouched monolith, proving that sometimes, ancient religion can successfully keep humanity away. Number 4. Hang Son Doong. In 1991, a local farmer in Vietnam stumbled upon a hidden entrance to a cave. But it wasn't until 2009 that scientists actually managed to go inside. What they found broke every record in the book. Hang Son Doong is the largest cave passage in the world. It is so impossibly massive that an entire New York City block, complete with 40-story skyscrapers, could fit inside it comfortably. It's basically the Minecraft cave update in real life. But it is not just a dark hole. The cave is so large that it has its own localized weather system. It has its own clouds, a rushing underground river, and a lush jungle growing where sunlight peeks through the collapsed roof. While a few tourists can visit a tiny section today, the vast, labyrinthian depths of this subterranean world remain completely unmapped. Number 5. Point Nemo. If you consider yourself an introvert, Point Nemo is your ultimate paradise. It is officially known as the oceanic pole of inaccessibility, meaning it is the absolute hardest place on Earth to reach. Located dead center in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, it is so far away from any landmass that the closest humans to you are literally the astronauts on the International Space Station, orbiting 400 kilometers above your head. Because ocean currents bypass this area, it is essentially a biological desert. There are almost no fish, no wildlife, and absolutely no people. It is so utterly remote and empty that space agencies like NASA use it as a dumping ground for dead satellites and decommissioned space stations, like a giant, watery graveyard for spaceships. It is the most isolated you can possibly be on this planet without leaving the atmosphere. Number 6. Vale do Javari. Deep within the Brazilian Amazon lies a dense, impenetrable area of jungle roughly the size of Austria. This area is home to the largest concentration of uncontacted tribes in the entire world. There are estimated to be over a dozen distinct indigenous tribes living here who have absolutely zero contact with modern civilization. They were living completely off the grid before it was cool. To protect these tribes from modern diseases, which could wipe them out entirely in a matter of weeks, the Brazilian government has strictly sealed off the area. It is heavily guarded, and unauthorized entry by outsiders is a federal crime. For the people living deep inside the Vale do Javari, airplanes are just strange birds, and the modern world does not exist. They are the last true living echoes of ancient human history, successfully avoiding our modern chaos. Number 7. The Paris Catacombs. Millions of tourists visit Paris every year for the Eiffel Tower and the croissants, but deep beneath the romantic streets lies the largest mass grave in human history. The catacombs hold the skeletal remains of over 6 million people, carefully arranged in endless, chilling tunnels. While there is a small, legal section open for tourists to take spooky Instagram photos, that is barely 1% of the actual network. The remaining 99% stretches for roughly 200 miles and is completely off-limits. It is a pitch-black, collapsing maze of flooded tunnels and dead ends. Urban explorers who sneak in illegally often get hopelessly lost. It is basically the literal backrooms of France. If your flashlight dies down there, the chances of finding your way out before you become a permanent resident of the catacombs are terrifyingly low. Number 8. Lake Vostok. Our final destination is buried completely out of sight. In Antarctica, beneath almost 4 kilometers of solid, crushing ice, lies Lake Vostok. This is a massive body of liquid water, completely sealed off from the rest of the world. Think of it as Earth's ancient, frozen Tupperware container. It has not seen the sun or touched the outside atmosphere for over 15 million years. Because of the geothermal heat radiating from the Earth's core, the water remains liquid despite the freezing environment. Scientists believe that this lake is a perfect time capsule. Because it has been isolated for millions of years, any bacteria or life forms existing in Lake Vostok would have evolved on a completely separate, alien path from the rest of the planet. Drilling into it is incredibly risky, as we could contaminate it. For now, what swims in those freezing waters remains an ancient mystery. These 8 places remind us that despite our smartphones and satellites, Earth is still deeply untamed. If you want to decode more hidden psychology and mysteries of our world, subscribe to The Hidden Angle. We will see you in the next video.